Welcome to the WPBA Tournament of Champions semifinals here from Oakland, California at the Holy Names University campus. Hello everybody, Daniel Barrera alongside Camila Jackson. And Camila, we should have a good one today. The Bay City Blaze, and speaking of which, it is blazing in this gym. No air conditioning here, so some real basketball for you on this Saturday late afternoon. They will take on the Alameda Wolves. And Camila, you were here yesterday for the game with the Wolves and the Hayward Rain, and it ended with the Wolves winning at the buzzer to advance.
Yes. Oh, my goodness. Just an all-around great game. The Hayward Rain came to play. They put the league on notice. Even though they didn't have the best record this season, they came out hard, and they came out with the energy, and they even got up to a 20-point lead. And the Wolves continued to fight, and they chipped away at the lead, and they call her Big Shot Beck for a reason. Rebecca Harris with a game winner with 3 seconds left on the clock. She does a step back three. It rolls around, hits every part of the rim, and then it finally drops in. But they just gave us great competition all around yesterday.
That's right. Well, let's go ahead and pause for some pregame festivities, and then we will come back and get you the starting lineups.
The Alameda Wolves.
To run through the starting lineups on the court. So we'll go ahead and run through those right now. For the Alameda Wolves, they'll have Tynesha Parnell out on the floor with Aganye Onya, also Jasmine Jackson, Jasmine Huggins, and then Rebecca Harris for the Wolves. Rebecca Harris, the player that ended up making the winning shot. We'll have Bay City after the national anthem. National anthem has concluded, and now let's get you the Bay City Blaze starting lineup. They'll have Amila Lee in the starting lineup with Isabella Mauricio. Brooke Dimitri is also in the starting lineup with Kaylin Rondawa and Morgan Berg. So that's the starting five for the Bay City Blaze. Camila, Rebecca Harris in the starting lineup for the Wolves. She had that winning shot yesterday, and fitting, she was an all-star team captain earlier in the season, so not much of a surprise that she would be the player to take that clutch shot and bury it.
Rebecca Harris is just a great player all around, just one of the oldest, but one of the most experienced as well. As everybody knows, she plays in the AU Pro Sports with a lot of the WPBA players in the offseason. But just a great all-around player, like I said. She can get to the basket, she can pull up for a mid-range, and as we see yesterday, she can definitely knock down the three. So just, like I said, great all-around player that's steady for this team.
And gutsy of the Wolves to take that shot from three, because they could have gotten the two gone to overtime and sorted things out there. They said, no, it's win or go home, and they won.
Yeah. And that's what you call ice in your veins. And Rebecca Harris definitely has ice in her veins. Me personally, I would have liked to get the shot a little bit earlier so you give your chance a team at an offensive rebound. But seeing as it's Rebecca Harris, she called game.
Well, for the Alameda Wolves, they are playing well at the right time. The winner of this game goes on to the finals, which will take place tomorrow night here at this same location. Alameda has won 2 straight, and one of those 2 straight that they've won was the regular season finale against this Bay City Blaze team. The Blaze have lost 2 straight coming into this game today, and the Blaze, they have not beaten Alameda this season. The Wolves started the season 1-0 by beating the Blaze. So what does Bay City have to do to make the third time the charm for them?
Well, first of all, it's always tough to beat a team 3 times, so it's going to be tough for the Alameda Wolves. And given that they're missing Imari Thomas right now, it might be a little heavy task for them to handle right now. But what the Bay City Blaze need to do to be successful is do the things that they've done all season. They need to run, they need to pressure, and they need to run 94 feet. When they're running in transition, they're able to score off of offense by getting the steals on defense. So when they cause a lot of pressure, it fuels their offense. So once they play great defense, that fuels their offense.
So Bay City likely will want to get Alameda out of a half-court game. The Wolves likely to slow it down and kind of post up, I guess you could say, get in that half-court game?
Yes, you definitely have more bigger body posts on the Wolves where they like a slower game, and Michelle Anya and Imari Thomas, so they definitely want a slower game. Whereas the Blaze, they want to get the tempo up and running because that's normally how they blow teams out. Because once they score in bunches. And before you know it, the game is out of hand.
All right. Well, it looks like we're about set to get started here. The Wolves are in the burgundy uniforms with the white text and numbers. The Blaze in the navy blue. They've got the orange and yellow trim. They've also got the white numerals and letters of the last name on the back of the jersey. Blaze on the front. We're set to jump it up. Birch will jump things up with Onya, and Onya wins the opening tip. We are underway. Jackson right away defers. It's over to Parnell. Here's Jackson, a 3. Off the left side, Onya on the rebound. And the second chance doesn't go, but Onya has been known to give the crowd, or the Wolves, those second chances. The ball almost finds us right there. These scores tables are not stationary. There's some give in them. There's a 3-ball put up, rainbowed in by Brooke Dimitri. So she's on the board.
And if you read the scouting report, you know she's a knockdown shooter, so you have to close out and contest with high hands.
Dimitri played for Stanford University in college. There's a very deep 3. The answer not there from Jackson.
Even though Jasmine Jackson not able to hit the shot, it's a great shot because you've seen the defender go under, and she's able to step behind the screen. And even though she does it, knocks it down, it rolls in and out. So that's a good shot.
And Mauricio airballs it. It's back to Harris. Jackson with the rock again. And as you said, Camila, that was a good look in the last trip, and a nice pass there.
And like we said earlier, the Wolves want to go inside as they have a bit of a disadvantage on the post, as Michelle Onya is very strong, and Jasmine Jackson able to drop her a pass in, and she's able to lay it in for 2.
Onya really, as you said, an excellent post presence, averaging a double-double in the regular season.
In the last game, she had 30 points, 16 rebounds, and 9 blocks. If you want to call her an anchor in the post, she is definitely the anchor for them.
Well, you don't every day see an almost triple-double by way of the blocks.
Correct, and 9 blocks that's a tough feat for anyone.
That's a lot.
That person is all the way out the three-point line. That person standing in the corner. That's illegal.
And Mauricio has the ball deflected out of bounds. So Lee will trigger in from the near side. Mauricio on the left wing. Right-handed dribble over to the right wing. A 3-ball in and out. Another good look from Dimitri.
And she just knocked down the last one, so that's a great shot for her. Yeah, they got 2 feet in the paint, and she's able to get the kick out, so that's a great shot for her, even though she didn't knock it down.
Here's Onya again. Those are too easy for Onya right there.
I agree, but just a great seal. She uses her body very well to seal off the defender, and she gives a high hand to show the guard where she wants the ball, and they're able to deliver a perfect pass.
Now Dimitri just knocks down another 3, so she's already got 6 on the evening.
And like I said, she can knock it down, and Jasmine Jackson got caught too much in the help, and they kick it out to Dimitri, and she's able to knock it down.
Right now, the Wolves are playing in that half court that you were talking about, and there's another bucket, this time from Rebecca Harris.
Yes, like you said, they're in the half court, and that's how they, right on cue with Michelle Onya with the block as we were just speaking. But that if the Wolves want to be successful, again, they have to run their tempo and control the tempo and not let the Blaze control the tempo, because once the Blaze start controlling the tempo, we'll see a different game here.
Onya also with the hops. Birch went up against her. Birch has an inch on her in terms of height, but that didn't matter. Out of bounds, and it stays with Bay City. Tied at 6 here. 6:38 left in the first. Dimitri tightly contested by Jackson. Elbow jumper, Pace has got it.
And if you know the scouting report on Maya Pace, she likes to come to her left. She is left-handed, and that is her go-to move, coming off of the screen, doing a 1-2 pull-up, or just elevating in the air. And she has great lift on her shot, and she's able to knock it down.
And you said it. She just seemed to kind of hover and be able to get that little float game going.
And it's just so beautiful. She just hangs in the air.
Makes for good posters that aren't the dunking variety. Lee misses the shot, but Bay City another offensive board. Lee will launch. The 3 off the left side of the rim. Onya another board. There's Jackson surveying the floor. Onya's going to set a pick. Jackson, the pick and roll to Onya, and she draws the foul.
And just a solid 2-man game between Jackson and Onya. You see Jasmine Jackson come off the screen. She probes. Onya's defender stays too long with Jasmine Jackson, so she's able to thread the needle and drop a bounce pass to Onya, and she's going to the line for 2.
And that foul on Mauricio. It's a first foul on Mauricio. Really no match for Onya, just in terms of sheer size. Onya 6'3", Mauricio 5'4".
Yes, and Mauricio, a solid defender, but like you said, that's a tall task for anybody with that height.
Literally a tall task.
No pun intended, with the height differential.
So here's Onya at the line, only a 50% free throw shooter, but buries the first. She's got 5 points early on. 5:41 left here in the first quarter. Second free throw on its way, and it's buried. So we're tied at 8. Here come the Blaze back up to their front court. Pace, bounce pass inside. Birch, just outside the restricted area, the baby hook goes.
And the Blaze running a great play, forcing the Wolves defender to switch, and Birch with a bit of a height advantage on Jasmine Huggins, and she's able to do a nice post move and score.
And you have to take advantage of that when you can. When you can get the switch and Onya's off of you when you're down in that post, got to take advantage.
I agree, because I know it's in a little bit of her mind, in the back of Morgan Birch's mind, as Onya got that last block. So you love to try and score when you have a smaller defender on you.
Onya has subbed out of the game, and Thomas is in for Onya. Here's Harris in between the rings. Harris will take the 3 herself and bury it.
Rebecca Harris is calling for the screen, and they go behind, which everyone should know the scouting report. You cannot go under your defender on Rebecca Harris.
Well, so far, Harris has been outstanding from downtown in this Tournament of Champions. And we've got traveling called. on the Bay City Blaze.
Great hustle by Maya Pace as she missed the first one and able to get the second one, but kind of caught her own air ball there, so refs called a travel.
4:41 left here in the first quarter. 11-10 is our score. We'll return. It's the semifinals of the Tournament of Champions. This is WPBA basketball. .441 to go here in the first quarter. 11-10 is the score. This is the WPBA Tournament of Champions semifinal. The Alameda Wolves with the 1-point advantage as they have the ball out of the break. Thomas, lots of dribbling over to Harris. She thought about a three, then decides to put it up anyway, and it's too strong.
And as a player, it kind of messes up your rhythm once you hesitate, so she had the wide open shot the first time, so she should have took the first one.
Now here's Mauricio, and she spins around and gets the 8-footer.
Nice move by Mauricio. Might have got away with a little bit of a travel as she dragged her pivot foot there, but great move. The refs didn't call it, so she gets the basket for 2.
You'll take it.
I will.
Parnell over to Thomas. How many times did you get away with dragging that pivot foot?
With my favorite ref right here, not too many.
That's unfortunate for you.
It seems they let a little bit go with the little players, and more of the calls are focused on the bigger players, which isn't fair, but we get it. We're a little bit bigger, so we're bigger targets.
The shoes stand out probably a little bit more, right? So you can really notice that pivot foot dragging.
That's true, and I have a very big foot for a female, and I'm not that tall, so you can definitely see my feet.
Here's Mauricio again. No pivot foot dragging on that shot, but misses the shot as Rebecca Harris gets the rebound.
Although she misses, it's still a great shot for her. As you've seen, she hit the same exact pull-up the last possession.
Here's a very deep three by Parnell. That's off the mark. And Innes gets the rebound. Innes now in for Bay City, going to take it all the way to the cup herself. Way too strong on the layup, did not hit rim. And Harris ends up with it for Alameda. Crossover dribble in center court, goes up to the hoop and cannot convert the layup. Now here's more. Mauricio, transition three, yes.
And if you're the Blaze, that's exactly what you want. You want to get a stop on defense. You want to get out in transition, and you see they're able to spot up and find the shooters, and Mauricio spotting up on the left wing, and she's able to knock it down.
And all of a sudden, as you said, Camila, the Blaze starting to run, all of a sudden a 4-point lead opens up.
Yes, like you said, once they play their tempo, and not too many teams can play with their tempo, so it forces you to go faster than what you would like, and then it also fatigue sets in as well.
Now we've got a held ball situation down on the hardwood, and it is Bay City basketball. 15-11, the Blaze lead the Wolves. 2:20 left in the first quarter.
As you hear Coach D from the Wolves asking for the defense of 3 seconds, the illegal defense on the Blaze.
There's more three, won't go. Harris. Pass inside, Thomas, turn around, won't go.
And like I said, the little players get away with a little bit more of shove and pushing and reaching, as a foul should have been called there for Amari Thomas, as they did make contact with her body.
Yeah, Wolves bench certainly not happy with the officiating early on. And back the other way, Dimitri drills the mid-range. She's got 8 already. Dimitri kind of stealthily with those 8 points.
And just a great shooter. Even though she plays more of the 4, she's a great shooter and can really knock it down.
And it's kind of, I don't know if we should call it the new age basketball player, but certainly over the last 20 to 25 years, now you're seeing the lengthy players. They not only go inside, they not only post up, but you have to be able to shoot it from 18 feet, 20 feet, and beyond the arc.
I agree, and Steph Curry is to blame, I believe. He has everybody wanting to shoot threes and want to shoot them from deep. But like you said, yeah, you see the game kind of progressing a little bit more as there was more traditional bigs maybe 20, 30 years ago, but now you're seeing the forwards being more stretch forwards. They're able to knock it down. They're shooting threes. They're bringing the ball up the court. So it's people being a little bit more versatile.
And also perhaps an influence of the European style of game, the Princeton offense as well. You saw those Sacramento Kings teams of the early 2000s, late 90s. Did not win a championship, but every now and then you'd see Chris Webber shoot a 3. Vlade Divac. Here's Harris to the cup, won't score. And it used to be unheard of for a power forward, a center, to launch from deep, and now it's expected.
Yeah.
If you can't make a 3 and you're a big, you probably don't make a team. Harris will shoot the foul shots here.
Yes, and even overseas, they start to look for players to be more versatile and be able to shoot and step outside and be able to hit the trail 3 or coming off a screen. I know my last couple years, they're like, you got to shoot some 3.
Second free throw from Harris is good. I know there was a perception that the European game did not necessarily value the defensive side of the ball as much. Is that gone now?
No, I think it's still prevalent. What people don't understand is overseas is different than in the States. They like to run more and they get more up and down, so they do score a little bit more, but there's also, they let you play more defense there because they allow you to play harder and more fouls.
And the loose ball back to the Wolves. And just as you said that, we saw some contact on that approach to the hoop. More contact here. Onya buries the baby hook.
And if you're the Wolves, you just have to keep playing your game. You see the ref isn't calling it, but you can only control what you can control. So you have to force them to call it and just keep playing hard.
Here's Moore. All the way to the cup and can't get the roll. And it is off Moore, back to Alameda, trailing by 5 with under 30 seconds to play in this first quarter, which has been very competitive.
Yes, and I would expect nothing less from these two teams as the Blaze want their get back. And the Wolves definitely want their get back for losing last year in the championship.
Well, these two teams, they made the tournament for a reason, right?
Yes, and when you play a team so many times, it gets to be annoying because it's like everybody knows each other's tendencies. They know their go-to moves and what everybody wants to do. So it gets a little annoying, but it gives great basketball.
Here's Harris backing up on Lee. She might hold for the last shot, but loses the basketball. It comes out to Lee, who immediately looks at the clock. Nice passing. Inside pace is blocked, but contact by Thomas there. She'll be charged with the foul.
I disagree, as Amari Thomas went completely vertical on that last call, and you have the ref calling a foul, but you have Maya Pace selling the contact going to the line for 2. But you see the Blaze being able to get back in the game and get the lead with their defense and transition. You see the last possession, Amelia Lee with the quick hands and able to force a turnover on Rebecca Harris. And
Pace with 2 free throw opportunities, hits the first one. So 20-14, 2.6 seconds to go in the first quarter. All of a sudden, the Bay City Blaze may have a 7-point lead entering the second. 21-14 now. It goes out to Jackson, who does not see the clock and does not get a shot off. And so that will end the first quarter. 21-14, Bay City leads Alameda. will return to the semifinals of the WPBA Tournament of Champions after this. This feels a lot closer than the 21-14 game, yeah. (21-14), the Bay City Blaze lead the Alameda Wolves here as we start the second quarter. It's the WPBA Tournament of Champions, the semifinal. The winner of this game will take on the winner of the game coming up tonight between the Oakland Swish and the Bay Area Phoenix. And the two winners today will meet in the championship tomorrow. Here's Onya for the Wolves. And the pass deflected out of bounds. It stays with the Wolves. Only 3.7 seconds on the shot clock.
And you see the Bay City Blaze just solid on defense as they're in great defense position on all players and able to help one another. Oh, great pass.
Onya down low, just left it short, but a nice idea.
Great pass. Jasmine Jackson threw it to where only Onya could get it, and it's unfortunate she's not able to knock it down.
Lee pushes it to Pace in the near side corner, and she can't hit, so it's back to the Wolves. Here's Jackson. Terminates the dribble at the free throw line. Beautiful pass underneath. Unable to finish is Vanessa Buyela. And we got a foul on Jackson.
You see a little bit of the Wolves player getting a little bit of frustration as they're saying the fouls are not being called the same on both ends, where you have the Bay City Blaze able to reach in and get their hands in there every possession, and then when the Wolves come down, it's a quick whistle. So I know that can kind of frustrate you, but you got to keep playing.
Pace has it, and we are closer to the offensive side of the court for the Blaze. So for us, it definitely looks like more contact, but the officials are moving with the players.
Yes. Oh, that is a foul.
And they finally call it. And they call it on Mauricio. That's her second.
Now that will be tough for the Blaze as she is one of their key players. She's able to knock it down from three. She's able to get them going. She's a great defender. She gets away with a lot of reaches, but hey, if they're not calling it, then continue to do it. But she was the three-point champion in the All-Star game. So let's see if they can get her started, but let's see if Coach Brian Gadir leaves her in with the two fouls.
That would be very risky, I think. There's still 8:44 left in this first half. But perhaps the type of move, as Harris makes both free throws, the type of move where you kind of ride the car until the wheels fall off, and he may wait for that third foul. There's Mauricio, mid-range, in and out. And then Alameda throws the ball away. You can't have that in a tournament game.
Correct, and those are the free possessions you don't want to give over to the Blaze, where it's not that much pressure and just a mental lapse by Jasmine Jackson trying to get it out to Rebecca Harris. But those are the kind of possessions you don't want to have against the Blaze.
Well, potentially huge swing, as you could have made this a one-possession game.
Oh my.
And Bay City with the turnover. Dimitri got away with a foul there on Thomas. And Dimitri kind of gave Thomas an extra look, too. Here's a three in the corner, won't go.
And I just have to do a little chuckle there because Like you said, Rick Dimitri got away with a little bit of a WWE move there with a little bit of a headlock.
That looked like a little bit of a sleeper hold as Thomas was mugged and there was no call.
But my point exactly, they don't give certain players, because of how big they are, the foul that they should get. And a foul is a foul, so they need to call it.
And Mauricio buries a 3 there, but before she buried the 3, Dimitri probably could have been called for a moving screen away from the ball as well. Harris answers.
A little bit of 3 for 3. Rebecca Harris said, right back at you, Mauricio. And that's one of the reasons why Brian Gadir left her in the game.
And Lee on the take all the way to the cup. She scores.
And she can do that every time down. There's not too many players that can stay in front of her. She's just very, very quick, and she's able to get to the basket and lay it in for 2.
Jackson tries to split defenders. Stays with it over to Thomas. Parnell launches. Got it.
And that's what Tynesha Parnell can do. She can really knock it down, and she can knock it down from deep, and she has a quick release, so you really have to get up and contest. Just
Here's
like
Birch. Answers.
And Morgan Birch just really got started early, so she's able to knock it down like we talked about earlier. A bit of a stretch 4, stretch 5, if you want to call it, and she's able to knock it down from deep range.
What's the temperature in this gym right now? No one is missing from downtown, and Onya gets a 2.
I was going to say, it's hot on the court and hot off the court.
Here's Birch again. Nice pass. Dimitri will try. No.
And the Wolves are very fortunate that Brooke Dimitri is missing that shot, because she is a knockdown shooter, and she doesn't miss too many, especially wide open like that. A bit of a mental lapse for the Wolves.
And that was not a good miss either. That was well errant. Jackson spinning, and the foul is called. And that's on Lee. So Lee also with 2. So the backcourt for the Blaze in foul trouble. You've got Lee with 2. You've got Mauricio also with 2. And even with the foul trouble, both those players still on the court.
Yes, and that will be interesting to see, because those are both of their guards that pushes the pace, and Amila Lee and Mauricio are both solid, and especially offense and defensively, and that's what gets the Blaze going, so they have to be careful, definitely because it's 6 minutes left in the second quarter.
Now usually you hear about drawing fouls as Lee will check out. Mauricio stays on the floor. Moore has checked in for Lee, but usually you hear about trying to draw fouls on the bigs. How do you draw fouls against the guards in the backcourt?
That is a little bit tougher, because they tend to call the offensive foul when it's a smaller guard, but you just want to get them reaching or get them with the body and try and see if you can create some contact to get them to call a foul.
And Mauricio dragged the foot, and that was not called. And now she'll launch a 3.
And yes, like you said, definitely dragged the foot, got away with the travel there, and luckily for the Wolves, she didn't knock that 3-pointer down.
And Parnell skating through traffic. High pass. Nice move inside, and Thomas powers it through for 2.
Which anyone can argue that could have also been an N1. There is a lot of body contact, not only from her defender, but from the health defender as well.
Credit Alameda, despite the calls going against them, only down 2. Onya almost strips the ball from behind.
Just great hand by Onya, as it was a tough angle, and she's still able to get her hand in there and make a play on the ball. Fortunate for the Blaze, it's still, they retain possession.
This game just has the feel of an old school basketball game, and yet there's still fluidity with the offense. Really well played. Here's Mauricio, free throw line jumper, got it.
And she's very good coming off the screen. She can go either way, coming off the right or coming off the left, and she's able to knock down that 1-2 pull-up.
Well, that might have been another foul. Instead, it plays on, and Thomas gets 2.
Okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one that keeps saying that. So as long as it's understanding.
Maya Pace ran into a wall back there. Alameda was able to score anyway.
Yes, like you said, just some solid bodies on the court with Onya and Imari Thomas, just some big defenders, so they're able to play through the contact.
Here's Harris.
Oh, tough shot.
Floater won't go. More contact. And we have a loose ball foul. And that's on Onya.
That actually was the correct call, as she did give a little shove to the Blaze player before she went up for it. So that one I do agree with.
All right, 4:41 to go here in the first half. 31-29 is our score. The Blaze lead the Wolves. Stay with us. The WPBA Tournament of Champions continues after this.
Somebody else's beats. If you're going to let them do it, let the other team do it. I'm all for it.
Well, they're letting them travel, too.
See? Are you listening to this feedback? Do you see some travels out there that she's getting away with a little bit? No. When she's dragging her foot, yeah. When she. So you can slide it and you can take. That's not. Okay. Okay, because it just looks. Okay, well, take 2 steps, y'all.
Do the Euro step.
Right, exactly. But the Euro step is not a travel. This looks past the Euro step.
Back here in Oakland, 4:41 to go in the second quarter, 31-29. Bay City leads Alameda in what has been a physical game, but a game of robust offense as well. City back with the ball out of the break. Here's Lee, will launch a 3, falls down, and Lee is hurt.
And you don't want to see that, especially in a game like this.
And they call a foul on Harris. And Lee looks.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on, I'm changing the shot clock, 3.9. Hold on.
Lee looks okay, but Mauricio's going to come in for her.
And just great sportsmanship by Rebecca Harris, as she's seen her, one of her former teammates now, and she just commits the foul to help her get off the court.
And Lee is able to jog off, so that's a good sign. She did hit the knee where there was that right side brace on the kneecap.
Yes, and luckily it's good to see that she is able to run off, so that is a great sign, because you definitely don't want to see injury, especially to one of the great players.
And Innes has the ball kicked.
A little bit of a kick ball from Imari Thomas. As she read that pass the whole way from Innes from the Blaze.
And I don't think we've had a bucket since we came back from the break.
Got some solid defense from the Blaze and the Wolves.
And more physical defense off the ball. They're really trying to bottle up Mauricio. Can't get it to her. Birch spinning. Inside, can't score. Birch.
Pick it up.
And it ends up with Huggins. Huggins will take it all the way and finger rolls it in off the left side of the glass.
And fortunate for Huggins, there was a lot of hands reaching in there. In that situation, you want to pick up the ball and retain possession, but fortunate for her, she's able to get the layup.
Are we in the Oakland Hills, or are we at the Cage in New York City right now? And Birch gets the bucket. She wanted a foul, although it looked like she may have walked there as well.
I guess that's the key to the game, just travel at this point. But tough bucket by Morgan Birch, as she's able to finish through the contact, but might have got away with a little bit of a travel there.
Well, whatever team can play through the contact and the lack of calls, they're going to be the team that wins this game. Here's Innes, rejected by Onya.
And that team, to your point, and that team is the Blaze, because they're the team that's benefiting because they're the one reaching and they're not getting foul calls. Whereas the Wolves are playing solid defense and they're getting the foul calls because they're a little bit bigger in the positions, but they just both have to be solid.
Here's a 3 by Moore. And that's off the front right of the rim.
Still a great shot by Moore as she was wide open, and she could really knock that down.
Right there.
Underneath, Thomas blocked by Innes. Out of bounds. The Wolves wanted a foul there.
And the Blaze is really trying to play towards the ref, as you see Moore just throw her body there to get the foul call on the bigger Imari Thomas for the Wolves.
Get out. Open. Take it back.
Bulea will throw in from the back baseline. She finds Onya. Onya, one-on-one. Tried an extra pass, and it's turned over. Here's Mauricio in transition. All the way to the cup, switches hands in the middle of the air and scores.
And a great way to shield off the defender, uses her body and switches hands mid-air, and Mauricio with a great layup.
And Lee is also back on the floor now for the Blaze. Good sign. Thomas floats it up, won't go. Onya, the rebound, gets the bounce.
And I just love watching Onya play. She just skies so high for the rebound, just so athletic and able to finish through the contact as they're hitting her on her elbow when she shoots it. Oh!
Onya with a block. I think that's the third or fourth block by Onya today already.
She's picking up where she left off yesterday, as she, like you said, might have 3 or 4 blocks right now, and she's saying you are not coming in this paint.
Onya, usually the team leader in blocks when she played collegiately at Cal. No surprise there. Here's a three from Pace, too strong, and Harris on the rebound.
Even though Maya Pace did knock it down, that's a great shot for them. They got the ball moving, they touched multiple people's hands, and she got an open shot.
Huggins can't hit the open look. Pace in the open court, leaves it for Birch. Can't get the layup to go, but Pace on the rebound. Mauricio will launch a three. Off the mark, out of bounds, and it stays with Bay City. And there's quite a battle going on down low between Onya and Birch. Birch has held her own for the most part.
I agree, but that's what you love to see. It plays for a good game, and these women are out here and neither team wants to lose, so it makes for a competitive game.
That trophy on the line. And Birch can't get the ball. Parnell ends up with it for Alameda. The Wolves can tie the game on this trip. They go inside to Onya, triple team. Doesn't matter.
Like you said, doesn't matter, as she is a big, strong body in that post. So once she gets deep sealed like that, it's pretty hard to guard her. And you see they're sitting multiple defenders, and she's still able to go up and over them.
And the battle we were talking about, Birch just answered. So 1-2 points for another.
Right, and that's what you want to see. You want to see them going back and forth, and it makes for great competition, like I said earlier.
And now Harris gets in on the scoring as well. 37 all. Mauricio stops, pops, off the window and in.
Ooh, Mauricio with a little bit of a chicken wing on a bigger Rebecca Harris and able to knock down the layup.
Oh, Mauricio, she pulled the E-brake right there. Lee.
Quick hands by Amila Lee.
Stops, pops, yes, on the triple.
And that's what Amila Lee can do, and that's how the Blaze get going, and that's how they score in bunches, and before you know it, you can look up and the score is out of hand. She's able to get the quick steal from Rebecca Harris and pull up in transition for the three.
42-37 is the score, under 30 seconds to play in the first half. And Harris will hold momentarily. Over to Thomas. 4 on the shot clock. Baseline J won't go, and we've got a foul. It is on Bay City. And is that on Lee?
That is on Moore. So that's probably her second. Did he change the call?
Let's see.
Oh, nope, he stood his ground.
So it
Oh,
is.
third?
It is on Moore.
I believe that's her third.
That's the first one. First one under.
So first foul on Moore. There's Onya. And there's another foul. This time it's charged to Dimitri.
And you see the Wolves trying to get back into the game by taking advantage of the disadvantage that they have in the post play between Anya, and whether it's Dimitri guarding her or Birch, she's been able to be successful and either get the basket or she's going to the line for 2.
Well, already 15 by my count for Anya.
And a couple blocks, so not a bad day for her, especially for the first half.
Not at all. She misses the second free throw, though. 42-38, the Blaze in front, and
Ooh.
a timeout called by Bay City.
No, I think that's a tech.
Oh, pardon me.
And that is a crucial tech because Amila Lee and Isabella Mauricio was wide open, ready to spot up for the 3. And if you know Mauricio and Amila Lee, they can knock it down.
Well, Lee was setting up for the 3 right when the tech was called. The tech called on the head coach, Bryden Gardier. And Harris will get a free throw opportunity here, buries it. Speaking of players that are standing out, Rebecca Harris, 14 points. 42-39 now is the score. The Blaze will inbound from our left at the scorer's table. 5.3 seconds to go in the first half. I would imagine Lee might look for Mauricio. She finds it. Mauricio loses the handle, and that's a backcourt violation. Yikes. Well, 1.2 seconds here for Alameda to make something happen from around midcourt. What are you drawing up?
I'm drawing up something, either having Rebecca Harris come off a quick screen and, oh, did they reverse the call? Oh, okay, they reversed the call, so now.
Did they say it was off of Alameda?
Yes, they did. That's interesting.
Well, I didn't see where the ball went off.
Yeah, but it should have been a backcourt because it was tipped, but she grabbed it.
That's right.
Yeah, on both sides. So I agree. I disagree. I think it should have been backcourt, but they changed the call, and at the end of the day, I'm not a ref. So.
Wow. Well, the refs are talking about something right now, but I don't know if you can go back and reverse the call that you just reversed again.
Right.
Boy. And in a game this close, every call is going to matter.
Exactly, and you don't want to give either team momentum going into the halftime because that can really shift the things when you come out in the third quarter.
Well, Onya is going to guard Lee on the inbound. and Lee has her view obstructed. It goes to Dimitri, the 3 at the buzzer, and she picks it off the window and in. Wow.
Great play drawn up by Brian Gadir. You see a screen set. Maybe got away with a little bit of a moving screen, but didn't matter as Brooke Dimitri able to knock it down over the high hands of Imari Thomas, and the bank is open because she banked it in.
Well, that's a huge bucket as well because we thought that it was supposed to be Alameda's basketball. Now all of a sudden a 6-point lead for Bay City. That bucket also puts Brooke Dimitri in double figures. She's got 11 in what was a very entertaining first half.
I agree, and like I said, you don't want to give a certain team momentum, and that definitely gives the Bay City Blaze even more momentum than what they already had. And not only that, it gives Brooke Dimitri more confidence because she's seen another one go through, especially a bank shot.
Well, Bay City 45, Alameda 39 in the Tournament of Champions semifinal. Halftime right now. We'll have the third quarter coming up in just a little bit. Stay with us. More WPBA basketball after this. Back here in Oakland, California at Holy Names University, the Oakland Hills campus, for the WPBA Tournament of Champions, the semifinal between the Bay City Blaze and the Alameda Wolves. Daniel Barrera alongside Camila Jackson. And Camila, this has been an outstanding matchup and really a game that should be closer. It's a 6-point lead for Bay City, but it could have been 3 or tied at the break. If you're an Alameda Wolves player or coach, you're probably thinking we could be in the lead if some calls went our way.
I agree, and you think that, but you kind of have to get away from that. But as a human, it's going to crawl into your mind, and as a basketball player, because you know when fouls aren't going your way, but you just have to play and respond to how the refs are calling it. So if they're calling things tight for you and not the other team, then you just have to adjust. So the Wolves got to do a better job adjusting in the second half and realize that they're calling the contact for them and not against them. So, yeah, just like I said, the Wolves got to do a better job of just trying to stay in and creating the contact and just playing through the contact. As you see, Michelle Anya and Imari Thomas was able to get some plays. Even though there was a lot of contact, they were able to finish through it. So they got to keep going to them and force the refs to call it, because it will become obvious at one point.
And the Bay City Blaze, and I guess Alameda as well, but the 3-ball has really been working for Bay City. Alameda has had their moments as well. Rebecca Harris, most notably, and somewhat surprising that Alameda is trailing, because they've been able to have that inside-out game with Onya and Harris, yet they still trail by 6.
I agree. Yes, definitely got to get a couple more players going for the Wolves. Like you said, Rebecca Harris, she's going to be solid. She's going to give you her points. She's going to give you rebounds. She's going to give you assists. So you know what to expect from her. Would love to see Tynesha Parnell get going from beyond the arc, because she can really knock it down. And once she gets going, it's hard to stop her. And on the other end, you have Bay City Blaze knocking it down from deep as well, with Brooke Dimitri 3 for 6, so 50% right now, so shooting a great percentage. And then you also have Mauricio 2 for 6. So as I said, she was a 3-point champion in the All-Star game. So you know that she can knock it down from deep, as well as Amila Lee as well. So the Blazers are going to continue to knock it down from deep and push in transition. The Wolves have to do a better job of getting out to shooters and stopping the ball in transition. You
mentioned Parnell for Alameda. Parnell held right now to only 3 points. So perhaps for Alameda, the key is you get that third scoring option. And usually you see this in the pro game, right? There's a big 2, but usually a team with a big 3 is the one that wins. Right now, Alameda has a big 2. They don't have that third scorer. For Bay City, you've got multiple scores. You've got Mauricio, you've got Lee, Birch, also Dimitri, as we mentioned. So a little more sharing of the offensive wealth, I guess you could say, for Bay City. Alameda, it's really been 2 players, and that's it.
And it's funny that you said it's multiple scores, because the Bay City Blaze does do a great job of sharing the ball, as they average 19 assists per game, whereas the Wolves is only 15 assists per game. Only a difference of 4, but it makes a big difference when you're scoring off assisted shots than non-assisted shots, because you really get your teammates involved, you get the ball moving, and the ball isn't stagnant, and you're forcing the defenders to keep moving and to play defense for the whole shot clock.
All right, well, Bay City up 45-39. We'll have the second half coming up after this, so stay with us. It's the semifinals of the WPBA Tournament of Champions.
In these FIBA tournaments, it's win or go home.
Offensively, what do we feel comfortable running right now? Drive, kick. When we've done that, it's wide open. And then sometimes we're getting an O-board. Like, this is how we got back. Relax, we're here. We're here. Now we gotta take this shit. We're 1-point game. We're good. Let's go.
There is no G League right now for women. I started the WPBA to bring as many opportunities to my community as possible. As soon as I heard about the WBLA, I had to make a decision. First American team to be a part of this huge tournament. The goal of this tournament was to put the WPBA on the map and bring home the gold. Not a lot of people can say that they are able to do something like this.
It's an underdog story.
If I wanted something bad enough, I was going to make it happen.
I don't know how many people expect us to do it or if we would win or not win.
For me, I'm trying to win. Just bring great-minded basketball players together and tell them to figure it out. We're in the prime time of women's sports.
Women's basketball is growing rapidly.
We're adding on to this history in the making for women's basketball right now. Women's basketball is not a charity, like it's a business, and what we're doing is definitely needed. I wanted to create something that was going to bring as many opportunities to the women in my community as possible.
The Women's Premier Basketball Association is making history here in California as the first ever FIBA certified league in California,
where we could truly compete, have fun, network, create a safe space for people to find community and show up as their most authentic self. I want people to be compensated for their time, their sacrifice that they're putting into this. My goal in all of this is to be able to create more jobs and get these players paid. Representation like this matters in our community. Young people in the community need to see women like us doing what we're doing so that they can see, okay, if I don't make it to the W, what are my alternatives?
Yes.
We're helping to turn players into professionals, and it's supporting the greater ecosystem for women's basketball.
Only now are people seeing the true value. And like people used to say, no one watches women's sports. They couldn't watch it because you wouldn't put it on. You want to put, a championship basketball game on Lifetime. Who's going to Lifetime to watch sports?
The stories behind why people come out here and play every single season are so important, and I felt that that needed to be shared with the rest of the world.
I think it's a huge opportunity for this league. We are more than just, players here in the Bay, right?
First American team to be a part of this huge tournament, like that in itself is a win.
And this allows some other people to get some exposure and see what it's like to play at another level and take their game elsewhere.
This is us being able to represent the Bay Area, represent the USA, but really putting the WPBA on the map.
A lot of work. The Alameda Wolves. Daniel Barrera and Camila Jackson on the call for you for this one. 45-39, Bay City leads Alameda. And this should be an interesting second half. Usually as a game progresses, you'll see the defense tighten up. You'll see more physicality, but I feel like we already saw plenty of that in the first half.
Yes, I agree. A lot of physicality going on, especially in the paint. More so on the Blaze side, as they've been the more physical team. And that's what you want to do if you want to win. You want to come out and you want to hit first, and that's exactly what the Blaze have done.
And the Blaze start out with the basketball here to start the second half. Birch with a three in and out.
Even though Birch not able to knock it down, you see her come off a double screen, and if you're a traditional post like Anya, you don't want to fight through those screens. So you see she got a little bit of a light to see it, and she's not able to knock it down, but that's a great shot for her.
And still, as you said, a very good look. Harris. And the Wolves need to launch a shot. The shot clock going to expire, and it does.
And just great defense by Morgan Birch from the Blaze, as she's able to stick with Rebecca Harris, who is the more craftier guard, and she's able to play solid defense and come up with the block.
So Bay City back with the basketball. Here's the lead. Thought about a three. Will drive instead. Loses the handle. And out of bounds. I think it may have been off a Wolves player, so the Blaze will inbound from the back corner baseline on the far side.
Stick, Jazzy, hands.
Here's Lee, the three ball, too strong. Pace on the rebound and a new shot clock. Mauricio won't wait for it though, and buries the three.
And That is her third one of the game. So the Wolves have to do a better job of getting out to shooters, and even better for the Blaze, they are able to get it off of missed opportunities, so it's hard to scramble out to the players, and that's why Mauricio is able to get the open three.
And Mauricio leads all scorers with 17. Tight defense by her here. Onya ends up with the basketball, and the Wolves are going to run into a shot clock violation again unless they launch. Harris, a very deep three off the front of the rim. And then Huggins cannot make it from 6 feet. Harris forces the turnover, though, on the other end, all the way to the cup. Can't score. Onya backs it up and gets the bucket.
And there's not too many times that you'll see the Blaze get beat in transition. Just because it was a live ball turnover, it was hard for them to get back. And Jasmine Huggins able to score off of that.
There's Lee. Birch. Nice fake on Onya. Euro step, middle of the lane. Won't get it to go. Onya secures the board. Right now it feels like Bay City, if they can just string together a couple solid offensive possessions, they can provide the separation, but haven't been able to do that. There's pace, and Harris goes over the top of her. I think that may be a foul on Harris. It is. That's Harris's second foul.
Although it resulted in a foul, you just love to see the hustle by Rebecca Harris, one of the oldest players, but one of the first to the floor. So just a great hustle, even though it resulted in a foul.
That veteran leadership. Lee over to Birch.
Here comes the ball, Jazzy. Get that hand.
Lee ran into Mauricio there. Seemed like the Blaze are struggling with spacing in their half-court offense. Pace throws up a shot, draws the foul on Jackson. That is Jackson's second foul.
I don't know what Jasmine Jackson can do on that play, as she was straight up, and you have Sheree over there staring me down, but it's all love.
She was smiling
yes,
you.
It's all love, but Maya Pace just forces the ref to call the foul, and hey, hats off to the Blaze. They're getting the calls, and they're going to keep attacking if the refs are going to continue to call it.
Pace now with 5 points. And the second free throw in and out. The back and forth between the Alameda Wolves bench and the officials starting to become as entertaining as this game itself. There's the three off the mark from Thomas. Huggins the rebound. Harris finds Thomas again underneath, and she scores. Nice job by Thomas not to give up on that play.
And it's hard to get out to defenders when you have an offensive board, because you kind of have to scramble and match up. So it's a little harder for the Blaze to match up and find their defenders. And Imari Thomas able to lay it in.
All of a sudden, the Blaze, 2 offensive possessions resulting in nothing. And again, though, the Wolves cannot answer on those. Lee, baseline drive, leaves it for Pace, and she scores.
Just a great move by Amelia Lee. Lost the defender in Jasmine Jackson, and Pace able to cut back door and an easy lay for 2.
So 51-43. Harris inside to Onya, who's double teamed.
That is a foul!
Lee had her arm.
Like I said, Blaze getting away with a lot as Mila Lee continues to reach in. But hey, if it's working for them, like I said, they're going to continue to keep doing it.
And Dimitri rainbows in another triple.
That is her 4th 3 of the game. The Wolves have to do a better job. She has a quick release, and even with her hand in the face, she's going to knock it down. They have to do a better job of forcing her to put the ball on the ground.
Dimitri's got 14 points. Thomas can't answer. Ahead to Birch. Euro step, middle of the lane. Got it. And timeout has been called by Alameda. They want to talk things over. 5:11 to go here in the 3rd quarter. 56-43. So, again, what we were saying earlier, Alameda if they could have just strung together a few offensive possessions, get buckets on 2 or 3 consecutive trips where the Bay City Blaze were letting them in, then this is a totally different ball game. But all of a sudden, Alameda not able to convert. Bay City's offense steadies, and they have now their largest lead of the game.
I agree, and like I said earlier, when the Bay City Blaze score, they score in bunches. They're able to force turnovers and they get out quick in transition. So the Wolves have to do a better job of taking care of the ball and being solid on defense, boxing out, limiting the one shot, and not giving them second and third chance opportunities, because the Blaze will convert on those opportunities.
And it just happens in bunches, as you said, and it happens very quickly. You look up, and it's a 13-point lead for Bay City.
I agree.
The good news for Alameda, they will have the ball out of that timeout.
I also would like to see the ref even up the foul calls a little bit more. As you see, the fouls is 2-0. It's small now, but that does make a big difference when no fouls have been called for your team. And you know you're being fouled. It's
going to affect how you play, how you approach the game. Onya looking for Thomas down low. Finds her. And Thomas. Did they call a foul or a kicked ball? They did call a foul.
Oh. I'm surprised they did.
So that foul is on Moore.
But you see how much presence that Amari Thomas has for the Wolves, because she's drawing 2 and 3 defenders every time she catches the ball below the box. So they do have a game plan for her, which has been working out. So the Wolves have to do a better job of kicking it in and kicking it back out and finding the shooters.
That foul on Moore. That will take us to a media break. 56-43. Bay City leads Alameda. More of the Tournament of Champions after this. .4:55 to go here in the third quarter. The Bay City Blaze lead the Alameda Wolves in the WPBA Tournament of Champions semifinal. Out of the break, Alameda with the basketball. Bay City up by 13. Underneath, Thomas mugged, and a foul is called.
And like I said, if you're the Wolves, you just have to be more intentional about creating a contact and make it so obvious that the refs have to call it, and that's what Amari did on the strong post-up. And for Ennis, for the Blaze, she's at a bit of a disadvantage with the body size and the height size, so it's a tall task for her.
And that foul, I think that was that on Birch?
Oh, did they call it on Birch?
Well, the official signaled 3.
Which would be Ennis.
Well, there's Ennis. I couldn't see her on the court. I was singing. Number 3's not on the court. But she is. And there's Mauricio with another triple. She's got 20 points.
And she can get them up quickly, and it goes in very quickly. So you have to do a better job.
And Innes is going to pick up another foul in the open court. So Innes now with 3.
Which you really don't want to pick up a foul there as your team is getting back in transition. I get you want to stop the ball, which is smart on her part, but you really don't want to pick up a foul there.
You're just kind of in no man's land
Yes.
out there at midcourt. 15-point advantage for Bay City over Alameda. 4:25 to go in the third. Harris dribbling, and Mauricio deflects it out of bounds. So Alameda will take out from the back baseline, and now Onya loses the handle, regains it, puts up the shot, won't go. Thomas is there. Thomas is there again and gets the shot to fall, but no foul called.
I just love the demeanor of Amari Thomas. She keeps playing no matter what. She's used to being fouled a lot and then not being called. She used to a lot of fouls being called against her. So just a great job by her to not let it phase her and to keep playing hard.
Here's a 3, buried by Birch.
And Morgan Birch with another one. Like I said, she can knock them down.
62 to 46, 3:38 to go in the third. Inside, Thomas again, double teamed and fights through it.
Keyword on the fights through it, but another strong move by Amari Thomas. Let's see if she can keep getting them going and get the Wolves back in this game.
And Thomas has really come on here in the second half. She's got 10 points for the game now.
Yes, and you talked about them not having a third scorer. Well, Amari Thomas is really their third scorer. She just had a slow start there as she came in a little bit late, so had to get her legs warmed up a little bit. But Amari Thomas is really their third scorer. You have Rebecca Harris, Amari Thomas, and Michelle Onya. So if they can get all 3 of them going and add another complement player here and there, maybe Jasmine Jackson or Tynesha Parnell, they can get back into this game.
And Harris just drew the foul on Lee. That's Lee's third, but Harris cannot convert the free throw.
And the Wolves, if they want to get back in this game, they have to score like this. They have to get to the basket and score while the clock is stopped, so it gives them a chance to get back in the game.
As of right now, a 14-point deficit for Alameda. Second free throw on its way, in and out. 0 for 2 on the trip. You can't have that happen. Here's Mauricio, another 3 ball, won't go. Heat check there.
Fortunate for the Wolves, she didn't knock it down, as she just knocked down the last 2 all net. So fortunate for the Wolves that they did not find her in transition.
Over to the left side, Parnell. Ooh. Toilet pulls in and out. Thomas cleans it up.
And even though Tynesha Parnell didn't knock down the shot, that's a great play for the Wolves as they're able to kick it to the weak side. And even though she didn't knock it down, Amari Thomas there for the cleanup.
And Birch cannot get the shot to go. I think she thought she was going to get caught traveling. There was no call and rushed it. Onya off the window and in.
And the Wolves just doing a solid job of taking their time and being more adamant about getting the ball into the post where they have the size advantage against the Blaze.
Stay on the ground, Michelle. Stay on the ground, Michelle. Stay on the ground, Michelle.
Birch holds back to Lee. Lee's calling for a pick from Birch. Lee scoops it to the hoop and scores.
And just a great, solid move by Lee. She comes off the screen hard and she turns the corner. She gets that shoulder low and she's able to beat the defender, and an easy lay for 2.
Parnell now. Go back to Thomas. And Thomas draws another foul. Who's it on?
Probably either, it looked like maybe Mauricio. Oh, no.
It's on Innes again. Innes has 4 fouls now.
Yeah, she picked up 3 quick ones, and I know that she wants that one back from the half court, as that was kind of a pointless foul. But if you look up now, you see the fouls kind of being called a little bit differently, as the Wolves are now in the bonus, and we have a foul count of 5-2. So maybe the refs are trying to even it up a little bit better now.
And that will send Innes to the bench along with Moore. But things don't get any easier for Alameda as Dimitri replaces Innes, and Dimitri has been lights out from downtown.
And I'm sure if the Wolves had a preference, they would want Innes on the court because she's not a shooting threat like Dimitri is.
Here's Lee, elbow J, no, and Onya on the rebound.
I just love the way Onya rebounds. She clears out space and she goes up very high and very strong, and there's not too many people in this league that can jump with her.
Jackson behind the back dribble, spinning, can't score. Onya, another rebound, gets it to drop.
Onya is just putting in work in the paint. She is putting on a show on how to offensive rebound right now.
Well, she beat 3 Blaze defenders in the paint to get there.
I agree, and just able to finish strong and have high hands, and she's doing great of not bringing the ball down to where the smaller defenders are, and she's able to go up kind of like a volleyball play with the second jump, and she's just able to go up so quick.
And Onya leads all scorers with 21. And now she picks up the loose ball. All of a sudden the Wolves within 8 and a foul away from the ball on Thomas. She knocked Mauricio to the floor.
Amila.
There is
It's
Lee.
Amila. Well, Amila kind of impeded her progress, so I do disagree, but like I said, they give the calls to the smaller person, which isn't fair, because if you're Mari and you're doing a strong post move, the guards know all they have to do is fall, and they're going to get the foul.
Perhaps a little bit of acting there.
Oh yes, the Blaze are great actors. They get the call, so if it works, it works.
And heads up from Lee to get that call. She goes from being in foul trouble to putting her opposition in foul trouble. Birch, floater, got it.
And Morgan Birch, just a solid player, able to come off a 1-2 pull-up and knock it down in the mid-range.
3 seconds to go in the quarter. Harris has to go at the horn. No. And that ends the third quarter. 66-56. Bay City leads Alameda. The Blaze 10 minutes away from making the Tournament of Champions final. We'll see if they can close things out here. This is WPBA basketball. Fourth quarter coming up, 66-56. The Bay City Blaze lead the Alameda Wolves in the WPBA Tournament of Champions semifinal. Daniel Guerrera alongside Camila Jackson for this game. For Alameda, what do you have to do right now to make a run and win this game, pull this one out?
If you're Alameda, one stat stands out to me. They're not defending the three-point line, and the Blaze is full of shooters. So the Blaze is shooting 44% from three. So the Wolves need to get out and contest the shots and run them off the three-point line, make them put the ball on the ground.
Instead, it's the Wolves putting the ball on the ground, and they don't convert. Well, you mentioned those shooters. One of them has the rock right now in Lee, and she's looking for the other in Mauricio. Dimitri also a threat. And is Aaron on that three.
And Anya again skying up high for the rebound. Nobody's up there with her.
Thomas floats it over to Harris. Spinning. Harris almost gets a shot to fall. Lots of contact. Harris down to the court. Out of bounds, Bay City basketball. Harris can't believe it. She wants a foul call.
And she has to know how the game's being called. You know, they're not really calling that. Might have had a kick out for Amari for the open shot.
Well, it looks like Harris is bleeding on the arm after that. That last possession. She is on her left bicep.
And are we surprised with all the reaching in?
Is this the Oakland Hills or is this the cage in New York City? I can't tell.
Ooh, I agree. It's a lot of scrappiness going on.
Take your pick, Rucker Park.
Rucker Park for sure.
Rucker Park, I think, is it's in Harlem. That's right across the river.
Yes.
The cage, you got to go more central, Midtown.
Shout out to all my hoopers in Brooklyn.
Just a great city. Here's Jackson. A great city, but for the West Coast, we're in the town today. Here's Lee. That won't go. Ahead, Thomas. Thomas is triple team. Finds Parnell, open three, yes.
And that's what you have to do if you're the Wolves. You have to be more adamant because you know they're going to double and triple team Imari Thomas. So she has to be able to kick it out to a shooter, and they have to be able to knock it down like Tynesha Parnell just did.
And then Morgan Birch comes right back and answers. But if you're Alameda, you will trade the 3 for the 2 every time.
And they can't really trade baskets as they are down right now as Amari Thomas scores on cue, but they can't afford to trade baskets as they are down.
Here's Lee.
But they will take the three-pointer, like you said.
The thing is, the Blaze are also making too many threes for you to rely on trading a 3 for a 2 because eventually Bay City will probably answer with a 3. Thomas going to work again and scores again.
And Imari Thomas just being so solid. Even though she's not getting a foul call, she's making strong, hard moves to the basket and keeping the ball close to her body and able to score.
She's got 17, and a majority of those in this second half.
And Dimitri a little bit off the mark, but that's a great shot for her. We've seen her shoot it from further and wide open contested. Even though she doesn't knock it down, she's been knocking them down all game.
Harris all the way, strong to the cup. She wanted another foul called. A long look at the official after that drive.
But the Wolves just have to continue to be solid. You know you're not going to get the fouls. You have to control what you're going to control. Rebecca Harris is an old enough and experienced enough player to know if you're not going to get the fouls earlier in the game, they're not going to switch and start calling it towards the end. So just continue to play your game.
Well, the Wolves also have kind of quietly worked their way back into this game, only down by 3, 68-65. So as you were saying, Camila, play the game. Don't get too distracted with the calls or non-calls. You don't want to pick up technical fouls in this stage of the game.
I agree, because that can also change the momentum. As you've seen, Brian Goodyear got a tech earlier in the first half, and it kind of switched the momentum back to the Wolves, and they were able to get back into the game. So you definitely don't want to give away free points, especially when you're down. So they just have to do a better job of just continuing to play to the contact, and at some point you just got to hope the refs will call a foul.
Also of note, 6:45 left here in the fourth. It is a 3-point Bay City lead. Dimitri knocked down that 3. off the window, I believe, to end either the first or second quarter. But remember, we thought that should have been a backcourt violation, and it should have been Alameda basketball. Right now, that's the difference in the game.
I agree, and that's definitely a different mental picture if you're the Wolves, because you can be tied right now, and instead, as they score again, you're down 5 instead of down 2.
As Mauricio scored again.
And just solid, just able to come off the screen, put her head down, and just sprints to the basket and able to lay it in.
Underneath, Thomas again. And it goes again. Amari Thomas, 18 points now. And I have to say, all of the WPBA All-Stars who played in the All-Star game earlier this season, they're showing up today.
As they should. This is the biggest stage right now, and you have to come to play or it's win or go home.
Jackson, underneath, Onya, and Innes comes away with it. And not only that, but the more games you get, right, the more you can see someone from perhaps another association that notices you, and then you could be playing somewhere else. And we've got a loose ball. And I think they got Moore on the foul. So that's Moore's third.
As they get closer to the end of the game, you will see it get a lot more chippy, as both of these teams have history and neither team does not want to lose today.
And this is an excellent environment as well. This gym, intimate and packed right now. As we mentioned, no AC. They got the big fans going.
It's funny you say the big fans and no AC. It reminds me of my Mexico playing days. Oh, we have the first 3-second called against the Blades, as Coach D from the Wolves has been complaining that the Blades players are sitting in the paint the whole game, and they finally got their first called against them in the fourth quarter.
Well, you can't please everybody, because head coach Brian Gerdier for Bay City not happy with the call.
Yeah,
as he probably should be. Harris takes the free throw and swishes home the first.
But Gerdier has to be careful, as he already received a technical in the first half, and he's very crucial to his team, so you don't want to see him thrown out.
So if he were to get the second tech, does he go out the door that is bringing in airflow?
Yes, he definitely would have to leave the gym.
Where do you leave the gym? He'll go out to the Mexican stand out here, the Mexican food, which I've been told, and out of bounds is Bay City. Which I've been told is very good food, by the way.
Yes.
So he'll have to go grab some nachos or something if he picks up that second technical.
And I still haven't got a chance to try the tacos, but the way I see people eating them, they have to be good.
Well, if Coach gets another technical foul, maybe we can have him pick something up for us. But I'm sure he'd prefer to stay coaching in this game. Jackson. Dispossessed of the basketball. There come the Blaze. Up 2. This is where that three-point shooting can come into play and provide separation. Lee, though, drives in the middle of the lane and scores on the layup instead.
And Amila Lee just does a great job of getting downhill. And like I said, not too many people can stay in front of her. She's so quick, got a quick first step, and able to lay it in for 2.
This defense really tightening up now. Open, Jackson, 3, short. Jackson gets her own rebound on the floor. Jackson fighting for the ball with Innes and Mauricio. And it's a held ball situation. I believe we'll go to the Wolves after we come back from the media timeout, but anyone who's watching this game and doesn't think these players want it, Exhibit A, they definitely do want that trophy after this Tournament of Champions concludes.
Yes, you see the all-out hustle effort from Jasmine Jackson and Isabella Mauricio. And if you're the Wolves, you just have to keep hustling and continue to play hard. And if you're the Blaze, you just have to keep up the intensity you've been playing with all game.
All right, 72-68, Bay City in front of Alameda. 4:41 left in regulation. This is our final break before the end of this game. Stay with us. It's a good one. This is the WPBA Tournament of Champions. They don't have to stop the game if they're like there's a cut or something like in the front. Aren't they supposed to stop?
If there's blood, yes, they're definitely supposed to stop it
Yeah.
for infection control. That is definitely a thing.
Because Harris was definitely, she definitely got busted open on the bicep. Yeah.
That means they weren't looking, but they're definitely one of the refs should have seen that.
Yeah, because we saw it. .441 left here in the fourth quarter, 72-68. The Bay City Blaze lead the Alameda Wolves in the semifinals of the WPBA Tournament of Champions. Back underway, Bay City with the basketball.
And let's see if the Wolves can do a better job of staying in front of the Blaze players.
There's Harris, down low, forces up a shot. Not there. Harris gets her own rebound. Great hustle. And the shot clock did reset. So now 13 on the clock for Lee. 4 minutes to go here in the fourth. Lee. Nice passing. Birch, the three. Got it!
And Morgan Birch able to knock it down. A bit of an overhelp by Anya as Jasmine Jackman was already there for help. So Michelle Onion doesn't need to double help. She needs to stay a little bit closer to Morgan Birch because she's knocking the threes down.
Look at Anya and Birch down low. Both of them crashed to the floor. No call. Very physical play. And Birch is hurt. She's shaken up. And there's more contact down on the other end, and a litany of players right now on the floor are taking inventory. You've got Birch shaken up. You've got, I believe that's Jackson shaken up down there for Alameda. So Birch will sub out for Bay City. Dimitri in for her. Jasmine Jackson favoring her right elbow, and Huggins will come in.
But this is what you don't want to see when the game kind of gets away from it being called tight, and now you have injuries coming up, and that's what you don't want to see. So the refs have to do a better job of controlling the game and getting an attack, because you don't, especially in the semifinals, and these are great teams and great players, so you don't want to have anybody getting hurt.
And is there a point where it gets to be too late for that as an officiating crew? Only 3.5 minutes left. And it's kind of like if the wheels fall off, they're already off.
And even more to mention, as Amila Lee hits a three, and Bree Moore gets a steal as well. But even more to mention, there's only been one foul called on each side. And these teams are playing extremely aggressive and extremely hard. So I think it's a little bit funny that there's only been a total of 2 fouls called, and this has been a very physical game.
Well, the Oakland Swish and the Bay Area Phoenix are both in the gym and watching the end of this game. I know you have to focus on your opponent at hand first, but I would imagine whoever plays the winner of this game tomorrow will have a huge advantage just in terms of health.
Yes, seeing as the Wolves was only 6 people deep yesterday, and they had to come back the entire time, so they're a little bit fatigued, as you can see. And the Blaze was able to rest yesterday, so they came in with fresh legs and playing their game with running and transition.
Here's Lee with the basketball, flips it up, won't go, and Lee goes down hard on the court, and she landed awkwardly. And she landed awkwardly again on that right leg. Lee able to get up, but again, Lee was banged up earlier. You also have Birch now banged up for Bay City, so if they hold this 10-point lead, not good going into tomorrow.
And this is exactly why the Wolves, and I was a part of the Wolves last year, this is exactly why we lost. At some point, You have to call the foul and not call what the body does. If people know you're going to call the foul every time they go to the ground, they're going to fall to the ground every time. And I don't think it's fair. They have to do a better job of reading the actual contact and calling it a fair game for both teams.
Well, the Wolves now down by 11, 79-68. Time running short, just over 2 minutes to play. Thomas, spin move. Does not go, out of bounds, Bay City basketball.
And just a great solid defensive possession for the Blaze. They're able to help, and Amari Thomas with the spin move, not able to knock it down. So a great solid defense possession by the Blaze.
Jasmine Jackson will check back into the game for Alameda at the next opportunity.
Get up, help side, Michelle, help side.
There's Lee. And you get the feeling that if Bay City can hit one more three, that may be game.
She's there. Yes, Ty, get up.
Lee, deep three.
Amila Lee might have just sealed it for the Blaze as she hits a deep three, fading to her right, and she can really knock it down.
That was from Lake Merritt. And now on the board, Onya and Dimitri get tangled up. Do they call that foul on Onya?
No. I don't know who they called it
I think they may have called it on Dimitri, but Dimitri got the worst of that exchange.
Yes. Just a strong play from Onya. You got to be strong down there in the paint as Dimitri came up with the rebound, but you see Onya not giving up on the play, and she's able to rip it straight from her hands and go into the free throw line for two.
Well, the force of that, the torque put on the body there, Dimitri is trying to work out the knot in her left shoulder, that rotator cuff. And I would imagine there's going to be some clicking in that rotator cuff joint area.
Well, hopefully she's okay. Like I said earlier, you never really want to see anybody get injured. No matter if you're up or down, you don't really want to see injury, especially because both teams have been performing at a very high level today.
Well, two of the Bay City forwards will at least be banged up for tomorrow. And Dimitri showing that she feels good enough to make the elbow J.
And like I said, Dimitri just solid all around, able to knock it down, able to hit a pull-up, and just able to knock it down from anywhere on the floor.
That three is off the mark. Look out, Mauricio goes down.
And this is where I have a gripe with the refs. You want to call the fouls now, but you're doing it to save face. You're doing it to even out the calls. You should have been calling these fouls earlier in the first half. It would have been a much different game, but now you want to call the foul with a minute to go and even up the fouls, and I don't agree with that as a post player myself.
84-69, and even Onya, before she went to the line, kind of had an exasperated look on her face. Almost like, well, yeah, I'm going to the line now, but I could have gone to the line earlier.
Exactly. She should have been to the line at least 10 times in the first half, and it's like, well, don't call it now. The game's out of reach. It's a minute left. I get you don't give up. You never give up if there's time on the clock, but the game is out of reach for them.
Jackson on the interception. Ulea gets the shot. 84-73, full court press from Alameda. And Onya ran into Mauricio there.
I think her leg gave out a little bit. I don't think she was trying to foul, but
no, I think just the body control wasn't there. And is that usually a sign of fatigue, right?
Yes.
You're just kind of gassed a little bit. Alameda playing the second game in 2 days. That's a tall order.
Yes, and definitely playing from behind the hole yesterday is a tall task to ask them to come back and play 40 minutes and come out and perform at their best. So they tried to press. They forced a couple turnovers towards the end, but just a little too late for the Wolves.
Mauricio, a speedy move to the lane, won't go. We've got a whistle. Is it out of bounds?
Yes.
It was on Bay City.
Yes, Mauricio tried to come back in and before she set her feet in, she didn't have possession.
Under 30 seconds to play. The shot clock hasn't been turned off yet. There's a very deep three from Thomas, won't go. Mauricio grabs it, and now the shot clock is off. So Bay City can hold this basketball. The Wolves will concede this last possession. And the Bay City Blaze defeat the Alameda Wolves in the semifinals of the Tournament of Champions by a score of 84-73. So Bay City will make it to the finals of the Tournament of Champions, where they will either play the Oakland Swish or the Bay Area Phoenix. Camila, this was a very physical, competitive, and entertaining game. And for Bay City, they're able to make it through with some advantageous calls. I don't think there's any disputing that, but also they had to match the physicality of the Alameda Wolves to do it.
I agree. Like you said, they got away with a little bit, but that's how the Blaze been playing for years. So if the refs allow it, they're going to continue to do it. And hats off to them for keeping it going and coming up with this win. They weren't able to get a win off the Wolves in the regular season, but they got the win when it counted in the semifinals here today.
And as you said, very tough to beat a team 3 times in one season. Alameda could not do that today.
I agree. I said it earlier. Like I said, you know, they're a solid team. Like I said, they won last year, so they definitely are a great team. They're really a complete team to where they can really have 5 starters on the bench as well. So once they sub, they don't really lose anything off the bench, and they have shooters all around. They're able to drive and kick and knock it down from all angles and all spots on the floor.
Leading scorers in this one for Alameda, Onya, 24 points, the leading scorer for the entire game, but in a losing effort, 24 points, 15 boards. In addition to that, 4 blocks and 3 steals. Just a fantastic game for Onya. And also Thomas came on late in the second half, 21 points for her. But for Bay City, Mauricio, 22 points. She really lit it up from the field, shooting 50% and 4 of 9 from 3. And Dimitri also 16, and Lee with 16. The Blaze, they just had that 3-ball working for them.
Yes, and like I said earlier, they have shooters at every position. So it's hard to really help off, because once you help, they're spotting up all around the floor, and it doesn't matter 1 through 5, they're able to knock it down, as we've seen with Brooke Dimitri and Morgan Birch.
Well, up next, the Oakland Swish and the Bay Area Phoenix. You will be on the broadcast for that one. What can we expect from that game? The Phoenix, undefeated, coming into the game, clearly the favorite, but anything can happen at tournament time.
Like you said, anything can happen, as we saw yesterday, where the Rain almost beat the Wolves and they were 2-7. So anything can happen. You know, every team's going to come out and give you their best. And the Phoenix just have to do a better job of just settling in and let the game come to them, and then they will be fine. On the other hand, the Oakland Swish have to do what they do best. They have to pressure and make things hectic for the other team, and they have to get out in transition.
All right, well, that will do it for this first broadcast of the day. Come back. Camila Jackson will be back on color commentary. Excellent analysis from her. But as for now, we will sign off. Daniel Barrera and Camila Jackson saying so long from Oakland. We'd also like to thank our producer, Robert. Great job as always. And we'd like to thank you for watching this one. Once again, the Bay Area Phoenix, or pardon me, the Bay City Blaze, getting ahead of ourselves here. The Bay City Blaze, they defeat the Alameda Wolves. They're now in the Tournament of Champions championship game that takes place tomorrow. Stay tuned for Game 2 coming up next. Have a great rest of your night, everybody. Thank you.